People who were in a coma, what change surprised you when you woke up?
Back in the 90s, my great-grandfather had a stroke. He was in a coma for 3 weeks, and when he woke up, he could not speak English. All he could speak was the Choctaw language. He had learned it when he was a kid because his family lived right near a Choctaw reserve, and he played with a lot of those kids. He spoke it fluently at that time, but forgot it over his life to where he couldn't remember any of it by this time. This went on for around 10 days, and then he woke up from a night's sleep and could suddenly speak only English again, not remembering a word of Choctaw. He was also able to repeat verbatim every conversation that had been held in the room that he was in.
Whoa, brains are weird, man. There is a guy who started speaking fluent Cantonese after a coma, if I remember correct. He even got a Chinese girlfriend as a result.
I was in a coma for 4 days. When I woke up, everyone was talking about the baby boy I had. I had lost my long-term memory and didn't even remember being pregnant. My son was at the children's hospital in the NICU. I delivered him via C-section at 29 weeks. All this was due to me having Crohn's disease. I found out after I woke up, my colon had ruptured during my pregnancy. My husband said I was talking like a child when I first woke up. When I woke, I felt super tired, but then the next few days, kinda restless. I remembered one conversation my mom had with a nurse while I was under. After a couple of days, I got my long-term memory back and remembered everything up until my second surgery, then nothing until I woke up. My son was my third surgery. Edit. So my son was what surprised me.
Is your son doing okay?
Yes, he was 3 pounds 14 ounces. Now he's 18 years old, 6 feet 4. Thanks for asking.
I was in a coma for 9 days. When I woke up, I was still on a ventilator. When they took me off the ventilator, my body didn't remember to breathe on its own. I literally had to relearn how to breathe. It took me a few days. I had no natural sense for how long or deeply to inhale, how long to hold it, how long to exhale. I had to put all my mental focus towards breathing. It was really weird. Edit. For all the people wondering how I slept, I didn't for the first couple days. If I dozed off, my blood O2 monitor would start beeping and wake me up. Then a nurse would yell at me from across the ICU to remember to breathe. I couldn't talk because I'd had the tubes down my nose and throat, but I remember one time I woke up, really exhausted, to that damn beeping. So I started focusing on breathing again, but I was really angry about it. My nurse came running over yelling at me to breathe. I glared at her and screamed in my non-existent voice, I am. She must have read my lips and felt the rage because she just put her hands up and said, all right, good job, then walked away. Anyway, shared that because I've never had the opportunity to before. My ability to breathe normally was back within a month or so, and my health is good nowadays, so I wouldn't say it had any permanent effects.
I'm now manual breathing, so thanks for that.
Don't forget to blink.
You dickass. You've ruined my next 30 minutes.
My mom was in an induced coma for 3 months. When she woke up, she thought the hospital was trying to kill her. She tried to get out of bed and she fell on the floor because she could not walk. She was mostly freaked about how her feet had lost their form. They were humped over from not being used. Every muscle she had to learn again. She couldn't talk well or write at all. She has different handwriting after relearning. She said she hated how perfect her hands looked. Her nails and cuticles were perfect and clean from not being used. I remember trying to brush her hair after she woke up. Almost all of it fell out. She almost died pretty much every day she was in her coma. She had sepsis from a diverticulitis surgery gone wrong. A lot of her hair has grown back and she can walk but has brain damage that makes her seem very drunk. She is always dizzy. But it's been 5 years now and her recovery has been miraculous.
A good friend of our family went into a coma for half a year. Finally, when he woke up, he was stunned why his wife looked so old. He actually lost the last 15 years of his memory. He knew he had 2 children, but they were babies, and he didn't even know about his 3rd child. And the memory never came back. He skipped from no mobile phones to smartphones, to laptops. Everything was new to him. Being stuck in early 90s, but actually being in the 2000s, there was a lot of change to handle. But learning you missed all your children growing up was the hardest for him.
This is the saddest story I've seen in this thread. Oh Lord, this is awful. He must feel like he's being punished, and it must be for something terrible.
My wife was in a coma, 2 weeks medically induced. When she woke, she had very wrong memories. They were all based on conversations people had while in the room with her. For example, she thought they flew her to Washington, D.C. for treatment. While she was in a coma, My father-in-law mentioned how he just flew back into town from DC on a work trip. Somehow, she overheard this while out, and her brain interpreted it to mean SHE flew to DC. Even after we explained to her the reality of where she was, it took days for her to come to terms with reality.
My brother-in-law had a brain tumor, so he was out for a while when he was first brought to the hospital. The nurses happened to be of Asian descent, so when he was awake he kept apologizing to people for making them have to come to Japan to see him.
My stepdad was in a coma/ICU for about 3 weeks. Woke up and he couldn't find his teeth. We looked for a week, completely forgot where we put them. Then he dropped dead at the bathroom sink in the hospital. Out of nowhere, they revived him. Couldn't figure out why he could barely breathe. Then the hospital sat us down and showed us the x-rays with his dentures in his body. They forgot to take them out when they put the tubes in his mouth, blocking his air pipes or whatever. So yeah, we found them though. Edit. Since this is blowing up, I figured I'd post a picture. The only one I have is on my old phone. Hopefully I did the link right here.
Oh damn.
I know, right? I haven't seen a BlackBerry in years.
I was in a coma for 4 days from bacterial meningitis. When I woke up, I was completely deaf. I had to communicate with my parents and doctors with a notepad and pen. Some hearing gradually returned in my left ear, but the right ear is still 100% deaf to this day.
Yeah, someone else who had bacterial meningitis. I'm so grateful you survived. Trust me, it could be so much worse.
Thanks, man. I'm glad I made it too. Docs gave me a 10% chance of living. Glad you pulled through as well. Edit. Was talking to my mother. She said the doctors only gave me a 5% chance of making it. Fuck.
My wife was in a medically induced coma for 4 days. She had a reaction to contrast dye, and her heart stopped for 20 minutes. For nearly 3 months, she was confabulating about her long-dead parents. She would speak about them like they were in the next room. Or she would say her daughter or brother called, but they hadn't. Over and over she thought her mom was alive, then her dad. Drove me crazy having to, gently, correct her many times per day. She would come up with amazing tales about what people, relatives, friends, neighbors were doing, what they said, truly creative fiction. 3 months later, she began to come back. The confabulation stopped. Now things are reversed. She can remember recent events, but her long-term memories are gone. I don't know what that's like, but it must be awful. She cries sometimes for her lost memories, but overall she is doing very well.
My dad had a reaction to contrast dye after a head injury, had seizures, and it was like his brain rebooted. He could only say, "How's the girl?" My sister had just born. He couldn't hold things or grab them, spent several months in therapy. At the end, his mood changed. He became very irascible, had little patience, and became very sleepy. He's fine now, except for some neck pains.
About 20 years ago, my cousin had a severe head injury from a fall. He was about 20 at the time, but was in a coma for almost 4 weeks. When he woke up, he fairly quickly discovered that his memory was eidetic. He could repeat entire conversations back word for word, and even tell you the date and time you said something. Also, he could memorize images with just a few seconds glance. His memory is still eidetic today. It's annoying as fuck. Whenever he reminds me of something I said in the past, usually something I can't even remember, I suggest that we hit him in the head again. Looking at what happened last time he was hit in the head, he'd probably just developed another borderline superpower. Better not risk getting corrected or called out even more accurately.
Nah, he's not working correctly. Need to switch him off and on again.
DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis, sent me into a coma. I have vague memories of being sick beforehand, but my overall sense of time was just mush. Even years later, I can't establish a correct timeline. I have flashes of memories of different doctors coming in and out of the room. Once I was out of the coma, I was still pretty out of it. When you're on an insulin drip, they check your sugar every hour. I could never actually sleep, but I fell asleep the whole time. It's a hard feeling to describe, just mushy, runny time. I was in a coma for close to 6 weeks. When I woke, I had to learn everything again. I had most of my speech abilities, but my motor control was horrid. I had to figure out how to wipe my ass as well as walk up and downstairs again. That took about 3 weeks. I had lost a shit ton of weight too. I was 6 feet 3 inches and weighed about 145.
6 weeks? Holy God.
Massive head trauma followed by being shot up with MRI dye that I was deeply allergic to. I died on the table for minutes.
My nephew, 14, was in a medically induced coma for over 3 months. During that time, he had lost about 30% of his body weight as his muscles atrophied. His first remark upon seeing himself for the first time was, "Did you forget to feed me?" Which was incredibly hard to hear since his family had sat crying at his bedside every moment he was unconscious.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the new ones.